All right, today on to phase 2 of the basement reno. We'll be taking down the macro algae BRS tank. We're gonna do a little painting in the background here, and we are going to move Uno and Dos to their new home right over here. We've got lots to get to, so let's go. What's up, coral people? If you're new here, my name is Remy and this is the Bahama Llama Coral YouTube channel. So I've amended my sub goal for 2022 and that is now 20,000, not 25,000. 25 might be early next year, which would be awesome, but for the end of 2022, would love to get to that 20,000 mark. So like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know whenever I upload new videos. In phase 1 of the reno down here, we ended up removing the Pico macro algae tank, and we replaced it with a new home for my baby clownfish who definitely aren't babies anymore. Now we're ready for phase 2. So I'm gonna do a little bit of painting on this back wall back here. We're gonna take down the BRS 9-gallon macro algae tank that I did for their channel, and then we'll move Uno and Dos to their new tank, which I am beyond excited for. I think out of all of the videos that I've done in the past year, this is one of the most exciting because they've been living in these little tanks ever since they were babies, like babies, like fry babies, and now they get to move up into their new home. We're gonna go ahead and start with tearing down this macro algae tank. So let's go. Here is the BRS tank that I made for them, and I've just really let it go. As you can see, that's kind of the common theme with the two macro algae tanks that I had. This one, the prolifera, is going crazy, has kind of taken over. Look at this root system. It's pretty crazy how it's just gone back and forth several times. There's some gracilaria in here. As you can tell, it's bleaching out, which just means that really there's not enough nutrients in here. And I have been dosing neonitro and keto grow, so everything is pretty good. I mean, all the equipment is fine, running great. Obviously we got a little salt creep over here on the hang on the back filter, but overall it's not too bad looking. This is the last time that we'll see this tank as it is right now. And I will be snatching that ATO off of this tank and putting it up on the new tank for Uno and Dos. So let's go ahead and get this thing all taken down. Super easy setup, simple equipment. If you want a tank with minimal maintenance, this is the route to go. So you can see how deep red it's supposed to be. So in the middle, you can see that redness of the gracilaria, and it'll all color back up once I put it back in the frag tank, because Lord knows there's plenty of nutrients in there for that. It definitely kind of looked like that root structure is just, you know, hanging out on top of the sand, but when you pull it up, look at how thick. Man, it's like a Jell-O mold. All right, we're about halfway through. Just got to get the rock out and then go ahead and drain the tank, and we're almost there. There's the hermit. Where is he still alive? The benefits that macro algae have, outcompeting nuisance algae, keeping the nutrients at a minimum. On top of that, you get a beautiful, natural looking tank. Might I add, because most of the light that you're shooting under is going to be that white light. It's so easy to take videos and photos of. I've done a bunch of macro algae videos over the years, so make sure to go check out those videos. If you're interested in setting up your own macro algae tank on my channel, just search in the videos there, macro algae, you'll find it. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of my more favorite tanks that I've ever done before. Just nothing but macro algae, and you know, I haven't taken a lot of tanks down on this channel, and it's only until recently that, you know, I kind of want to get down to just a couple tanks here and there and start back over again, just so I can take time and put all my efforts into just a couple tanks instead of 4 or 5 or 6. So it's bittersweet, and some of it will live on in the frag tank as far as the macro algae is concerned, but this is all going bye-bye. So thank you for the joy that you brought. All right, one less tank to worry about. I am going to transfer one piece of equipment from the macro algae tank to the new tank over here, and that is the auto top off system. I think I should be able to hide the bucket reservoir underneath the sink and then just run the line up. So another thing that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, you've heard me talk about this for a long time if you've been around this channel, and that is some beautification around here. When I started this channel, it was just the frag tank and I didn't really know where this channel was gonna go, and now that it's grown a bit, and so have I just wanna make sure that I'm increasing the standards, if you will, as it grows. Good Lord, that footage is bad. I went from cardboard in the windows to blinds, guys. That was a big step. Okay? I want you to know that this channel means a lot to me, and it's so nice when, you know, I go to the local fish store and see people and they're like, I've learned so much from you. That makes me so happy. That makes my heart happy. So if you've gotten any information from this channel, or you've ever felt inspired to do something new from this channel, or if I've made you laugh a couple times, I would consider that a success. I wasn't sure how this paint was gonna dry, but I really, really like it. I think it's gonna look really nice with the black stand for the new tank. Well, what do you think? I think it's a good start on the background color. All right, it's the moment we've all been waiting for, the moment that Uno and Dos go to their new home. First, let's go ahead and give this dirty 10-gallon water box a good cleaning. We'll do a water change before grabbing up Uno and Dos. I love using these melamine sponges. I did a whole video on them last year, but it's basically the magic eraser, but for a fraction of the price. I will leave the Amazon link in the description below. You can pick up like, I think 50 of these for maybe 20 bucks or less or something, but go price these out at the grocery store and you get like 4 for $6 at the grocery store. And these melamine sponges don't have any additives or anything. There's no chemical cleaners or anything inside of them. It's just the sponge. Oh, and I can't forget, we had to evict Blue. So sorry. He ended up in the sump with a frag tank, so hopefully he's eating well down there in the sump. You did well, Blue. You did well. So an acclimation box was recommended for these two since they've never met before. And this is where one of them is gonna live. I just want to be on the safe side, don't want them to kill each other on the first couple days. So I'm gonna put the larger one. Dos is actually larger. So I'm gonna put Dos in the holding tank, and hopefully over the next couple days, they will see each other and there will be less aggression if there is any. Now, they've not seen another fish their entire life, and they've been alive for almost a year. So I remember when Kathy first brought over Uno's eggs on a tile, and I couldn't have been more excited to try and raise these clownfish, and Uno was the only one, which is why his name is Uno. Dos is the second one, and that is from my Da Vinci clownfish in the frag tank over here, Zach and Kelly. Let's go ahead and get Uno and Dos out of their tanks, and we'll go ahead and put them in their new home after a little bit of acclimation. Let's go. All right, I've got Dos. They're so big. They're so big. Pay no attention to the amazing amount of algae in here. I kind of let it go as I knew I was gonna be taking them out. This is Uno. It's hard to say which one is bigger because they're both about the same size. There you go. All right, the moment of truth. This is what we've been waiting for, everybody. Uno's going in first. It's interesting because he is technically older than Dos, but is smaller. So I think Uno might end up being the male if they pair. All right, time for Dos now. Dos is gonna live in the acclimation box for a little bit, and we're gonna see how they interact with each other. All right, they're in. Here we go. It's been 24 hours since I put them in. It looks like Uno and Dos have calmed down quite a bit, which is awesome. The stress response has finished, which is great because you never want your fish breathing heavy and just kind of stressed out, and you can tell that. So Uno has been exploring the tank, and I think in the next couple days I'm gonna release Dos, and I will document that whole thing, and I'll put that up on Instagram. So make sure to check out @Bahama Llama Coral on Instagram to follow along on the micro journeys. Well, we have come a long way, that's for sure. It has been quite the journey. I know there are breeders out there that do this in their sleep and are constantly having baby clownfish in whatever setup they have. But for me, it just is a great illustration of If I can do it, you can do it. From egg to fry to metamorphosis and then full-on clownfish, and now uno and dos hopefully will pair up and at some point in their lives spawn again, and the circle of life will be complete. And that all happened in my basement. How cool is that? So if you are curious and you do want to take your education a little bit further when it comes to clownfish breeding, maybe your clownfish have started to spawn, I do have a little bit of a mini series on the equipment that you'll need, from the rotifer culture to the filtration you'll need to the process of at least from day 1 until day 60 at least. You should be able to get that information from my clownfish breeding series. Check that out on the channel after you're done with this. I'm a proud papa right now. This kind of stuff rejuvenates my love of this hobby so much. And I wanted to thank you for being patient and coming along on this journey with me. A little bit of insider information: when this channel hits 20,000, I'm hoping that happens before the end of the year. We've got a little bit of time left, so maybe we can make 20,000 happen. But when it does, I will unlock a Weeping Willow giveaway. So I'll be giving away a frag of Weeping Willow. Could be yours. Make sure you're subscribed, and details will follow after we hit that 20,000 subscriber threshold. With that said, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know whenever I upload new videos. I want to say thanks to Fritz for all their great support over the years. Might be doing something with them next year. Stay tuned for that. Of course, Turbo Start, which got this tank started, and well, all the tanks behind me got them started. And of course, I use the Fritz Blue Box. And also Scott Crow. You know, because he's the man. As always, make sure to check out everything that OSA has to offer on their social media, from YouTube to Facebook to Instagram. They've always got new videos going up on the regular. Man, I cannot tell you how good it feels to be down to 3 tanks, guys. Phase 3 actually has 3 different components. One of them, move the lagoon out. It's gonna be gone. We're going to rehome some coral, maybe put some in the frag tank. We're also gonna move the frag tank up a bit. So we're gonna slide it on up over here, and then we are going to move the brand new tank directly behind me and fill it up with some water. Got the aquascape ready to go. I think I've got all the equipment ready to go. It's just a matter of finding the time to put it back there. I'm still gonna try and get my end of the year video out where I reflect on how this year went and set some goals for next year, things like that. But if I don't see you, have a happy holiday, happy new year, and Merry Chrysler, okay? Go slam some nog for me of the egg variety. Goodbye.